I bring you the thrilling, edge-of-your-seat conclusion to the dropship disaster. So this is a little bit belated. I finally got around to recording it actually a couple weeks after the original one. It's one of those things that was kind of frustrating, not real entertaining to watch. So I sped up the footage a lot, cut it down by about a third, and added some music so it wasn't too boring. So what I'm doing here is matching up my intersection with the space station. Now the dropship I was sending up also had a hub. I was trying to combine a couple of things, which ultimately worked out, but as you'll see through some design flaws and just, the unwieldiness of it, it became kind of a pain in the butt. So right here I'm fine-tuning my orbit for intersection. You can see the mod in the lower left lets me precisely adjust the intersections. The default Kerbal doesn't do a great job of this. So I actually was running out of fuel, and I realized I had fuel in all the little dropship tanks. So I started siphoning all that off so that I could complete the mission. And this is again something that's, I really should have put those up empty, but you don't always think of everything. Alright, now I have enough fuel to actually meet at the ships. So I set up that elliptical kind of oblong orbit so you can time your intersections properly. It uses a little bit more fuel, but you don't have to wait around for, hours, or, potentially at least 10, 20, 30 real lifetime minutes. So you can see the station in the background there. So I've done my transfer burn. And now I just gotta kind of wait it out. Right there I'm using RCS to fine tune. And I'm below that 1 kilometer magic number. So there's the station I'm chasing down. Do my retrograde adjustments. Got my velocities down, and now I'm on the approach. More fuel fine tuning. This is why you should use fuel lines properly. And you can see I've turned off 2 of my engines because I don't need that much speed on the approach. So the whole plan of this is to remove the existing hub and then add the new hub and habitability module, and then reconnect the existing hub. Really the smart thing to do would have been to use an inline grabber, which I had on an iteration of this design, but I didn't have it on this final one. So now I'm controlling the station, and I'm going to remove the existing hub and rotate a little bit. This is where I start to get in trouble because that one hub just falls away, and I have to chase it down much later, and that's just, it was an ordeal and a half. So now I can bring my fully functioning ship in. This actually worked pretty well. What bit me in the butt later was that the habitability module had my RCS thrusters. So without that, I can't properly control my ship. So this one was relatively easy. I did kind of a rim shot, but eventually got it docked. So that's good. Gonna play with the lights and the solar panels or whatever. Totally forgot to fuel the ship. Luckily I didn't run out. That would have been the smart thing to do. So now, time to chase down that hub that I just lost. And this ship only has 1 set of RCS thrusters instead of the usual 2, so it's very hard to control. It also had just one, not a set, of solar panels and not enough batteries. So I had several times the thing just died and I had to wait for the sun to rotate, get enough juice so I could rotate a little bit, and then finally charge up the batteries. This is, actually a few hours that's condensed into, roughly 6 or 7 minutes. So after a horrible, horrible time, I managed to capture that hub. So I'm re-intersecting with the space station again. This actually wasn't too bad, it's the next part that was really tough. Because now I'm swinging around this unwieldy hub on one end and trying to swing it down onto a station. And the ship itself was essentially uncontrollable. So this is one of those missions where I realized how many errors I had in the design of the ship, and I really should have just relaunched it and redone it, and I could have done, redone the whole thing in about a quarter of the time or less it took me to do this giant, drawn-out debacle. So, if you do pick up this game and you notice everything starts to go wrong, just go back to the vehicle assembly building and start over again. So you can see me wildly swinging that hub around. This is actually one of the last approaches. I didn't even show a lot of the missed ones. There were a lot of them. So I managed to finally swing this thing down with limited RCS capability, and eventually, clumsily, latched it together. So I finally got lucky and attached everything, extended out the solar panels, and I started filling up the dropships for their, final use when I eventually dropped them down to Earth to the astronauts down there. Refill all the batteries, all that good stuff. So that's the end of this little debacle. The 8 drop ships should serve their purpose quite well, but the mothership I built to take them up there wasn't the best.